Well, Mayor Scott Gillingham, thank you so much for making the time to speak with us today. These have been some of the darkest months in Winnipeg's history. What do you see as your role as the mayor to get us through these crises that we're facing right now?
You're right, Cameron. They've been really difficult weeks. Part of my role is to try to make sure that we have a steady path together forward, but we need to do it together. And I think first and foremost, we need to acknowledge that right now there are families that are grieving, the families of the Indigenous women who were murdered, the families of the gentleman who passed away, was killed in our library, the individuals, the families that are affected by people living on the street right now. So these are difficult days, but my job is to make sure we come together, provide the supports that families need, and make sure that our city knows that the brighter days are ahead.
Pulling back from the immediate issues facing the city right now, I'm aware of the context of when you first came into office as a councillor 8 years ago. It was just after the discovery of Tina Fontaine's body in the Red River. Some people might say, look, he's been in office in some way or shape or form for 8 years now. And what has changed in that time? What should people, or why should people have confidence in you personally to lead on this issue?
I think several things have changed in the 8 years I've been here, and I want to give credit to former Mayor Brian Bowman for leading a lot of those changes. And certainly, I can only imagine the pain, and I don't know the pain. I want to be honest. I can only imagine the pain of what the family members are going through. And I think what's important to know and to realize again is that I am working with Indigenous leaders specifically on a feasibility study to recover remains of loved ones. That's very important.
Do you think a search will happen in some way, shape, or form? I know the scope, the timing of it is all to be determined, but do you think ultimately there will be a search?
What I know is we're taking steps for a feasibility study to determine the search. And the feasibility study will involve professionals and experts who can analyze whether or not a search can happen, and the scale and the scope of the search. That's beyond my expertise, but I'm committed to making sure that feasibility study happens.
Moving on to another heavy topic, but somewhat related. People have been seeing and hearing about incidents of violence in our downtown and core area for a long time now. Some people they're losing faith in downtown. What can you do to try to restore people's faith and hope in the downtown of Winnipeg?
Implement what I committed to implement in my platform, and we've already started that. What I'm really working towards is kind of one coordinated, comprehensive plan that has as partners within the plan the province of Manitoba and its departments and funding sources, agencies such as our Silo missions and Main Street projects and Union Gospel missions and Lighthouse missions and St. Boniface Street Links and One Just City and all the myriad of others who are doing such great work. Business needs to be at the table. Other nonprofits need to be at the table so that together we're all coming together in establishing one coordinated plan that makes our downtown safer and healthier, and ultimately gets the people who are struggling the services they need to change their lives.
What's the timeline for that? That's a big. You're talking about bringing in multiple pieces together. How do you do that, and when could we expect to see that?
You're right. This is Herculean. I don't think it's ever been attempted in our city. Well, but we just cannot continue to do things the same way. We can't continue to just kind of sprinkle a little bit of funding here and hope it gets better over there. We've got to tackle this, head on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.